Welcome back to the channel. My name is Wong. Today I'm super excited because we are showcasing a very unique build. It's a car that I haven't actually featured before. It is yet again another Honda, but this is a Honda Civic EM1 or a Honda Civic SI, but wherever you are in the world, this is known as the Honda Civic Coupe. This is a very tastefully put together build, and under the hood it's got a B18C2 that's fully built and forged, and it's got a turbo strapped onto it, and it makes a grand total of 260 front wheel kilowatts of power, or about 400 horsepower at just the front wheels, and it's only running 8 psi of boost. Apart from that, it's got EK9 bits throughout, it's got SR3 Recaras, just an awesome car all round, and I can't wait to feature this thing out here. So I've got the man himself out here. This is Matthew. How you going, man?
Oh yeah.
Dude, this car is so sick, man. Can you tell us a little bit about it and what you've done to it?
I've had the car for about 4 years. Built it from ground up. It's actually my cousin's car, but I've helped build it and I know the car a little bit more than him.
So you get to drive it more as well, surely.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Now that's awesome, man.
Yeah. It's got a fully built B18C2 out of Integra.
That's sick.
It's got EK9 interior bits, DC2 5-stud conversion, so a bit of Honda chucked in everywhere in the car.
Yeah,
And
sweet, man.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a sleeper build.
Yeah, so that was the goal with it. Just black it out, have it a nice, fun street car.
It's a really tough looking car as well, and I don't think you've mentioned it, you're staying kind of humble, but it's got a turbo strapped on, right?
Yes, it does, yeah.
And you spot it straight away with that intercooler just peeping under the bar there.
Yeah.
But show us the engine bay, man. I think that's what people want to see, right?
For sure.
Awesome. So who put this car together?
So it was built by Fortune Auto, the engine work.
Okay,
and,
sweet.
Took it to Elusive Racing for tuning.
Holy moly, look at that turbocharger, and obviously the B18C2, just an iconic sight.
Yeah, so it's got fully forged, everything's been replaced. Machined crankshaft, billet, conrods, CP 81mm pistons. It's got a 1.1mm head gasket, Supertech valve train, Skunk 2 Pro cams, and we've just done the coil pack kit for it to handle some more power.
Sweet. And what turbo are you running?
It is a Borg Warner S363 6368.
Wow.
Yep.
And you're running just 8 psi of boost, and how much power are you making again?
It's 8 psi at 260 kilowatts.
Wow, only 8 psi.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's capable of at least 20, especially with a forged motor, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's built for more, but the owner's not ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of a street car, right? That's probably the perfect amount.
Yeah, that's right.
And in terms of the power delivery, is it a little bit laggy? Because I haven't driven a big turbo B series.
Yeah, it goes alright. It starts to spool around 3.5 and comes on with VTEC at 5, and then you get full power at around 6,000 RPM.
Wow. And all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
nice, man.
all the way to around 9,000. So.
Oh, it revs out to 9,000.
Yeah, that's right.
Obviously with the forged motor, right? You can just keep revving.
Yeah.
So with all that power, do you struggle for traction?
First gear, of course, in any front wheel drive will never gain traction. Second gear, at the high revs, it starts to spin out, but third gear, that's when it really hooks.
That's awesome, man. I can see you've got some sticky tires on your Integra Type R wheels, which look really good in this car.
Yeah, that's right. They're Toyo R888Rs on just 205, still stock body, so any wider will start rubbing on the cards, and
yeah, it's a shame that you can't fit wide wheels on obviously these Civics.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Awesome, man. And so in terms of the gearbox, are you running an S80 LSD?
Yeah, that's right. It's a S80 LSD gearbox, factory LSD, and the gears and synchros have been rebuilt with Synchrotech.
Awesome, man.
Stuff. Yeah.
But being the 477, it's quite short, right? You're probably ripping through the gears.
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Oh man, so you're just constantly shifting, hitting VTEC.
Yeah.
No, that's a whole lot of fun then. Do you have any more future plans for this setup?
We just got the coil pack kit done. So before with the Dizzy, it was only capable of around 300 kilowatts.
Okay.
So now we've got the coil pack kit, we can bump it up some more.
Awesome,
and maybe
man.
push the turbo a little bit more.
That's sick. Are you planning to take it out on the drag strip or track anytime soon?
Maybe sometime soon, but just for now, just keep it as a fun street car.
Yeah,
on the highway, you know?
I'd be really keen to see what kind of times you run on the quarter mile though.
Yeah,
It'd be
100%.
really, really good, especially when you dial up the boost a little bit.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, this is a very extreme car and still somewhat understated and subtle, and I can't wait to experience this thing out here. Huge thank you again to Matthew.
No worries.
If you guys have been enjoying the content thus far, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and guys, let's get straight into it. Alright guys, we are jumping in the Honda Civic EK Coupe. This thing is going to be a whole lot of fun, and I can't wait to hit some boost. It is pretty hot today, and as a result, the car is running a little bit on the rougher side in terms of the idle situation. Kind of rev hunting, but otherwise, let's set off. So this car has an Agura single plate clutch, but it's a little bit on the tricky side, and in first gear it tends to buck a little bit. But yeah, just cruising around. The car is really comfortable. It's on some hard raised coilovers, 10k in the front, 8k in the rear for the spring rate. It's on the full stiff setting, and because of that, it's a little bit on the firmer side, but let's send it a little bit and see how we go, guys. Third gear, 4,000. It's about 10% throttle there. Still feels really progressive of a car. You know, these Honda Civics are just such epic drivers cars, and you know, the handling and the experience from behind the wheel is just always so prevalent. You don't really have to be on boost to enjoy it, but when you hit that gate and you hear that screamer pipe and the flutter of the turbo, there's a lot of noises. Healing and towing, really easy. We'll roll into the second gear, 5,000. So 260 front wheel kilowatts on 8.8 psi of boost with the B18C2 fully forged and built, and the Borg Warner S3 63 turbocharger. About 4,000. You feel it, and we're off. The car definitely builds speed really quite quickly, and the brakes are quite nice. You've got some DC2R calipers, rotors, and you've got some DBA T4s, and they stop this car quite well. Definitely no complaints there, and then when you find the straight after there, really doesn't frighten you. It handles really quite nicely. There's a little bit of a crunch in this gearbox, but it's been fully rebuilt with Supertech synchros, and wow, the car feels so good. Okay, it's really strange. Like, you've got this much power in it, and even despite that, it's a car that doesn't actually frighten you. It insinuates a whole lot of confidence when you're driving this car, and I think I found that when I was driving the turbocharged K-Swap DC2 Type R, and in this car, it's really no different. The way that the owner has set this car up, it feels like a typical Honda Civic in the sense that, you know, a lot of feedback through the steering wheel. The gear throws are lovely in this gearbox, super smooth. The clutch is really nice and light, almost similar to an OEM in terms of the weight and the feel. Just a very similar experience to what I'm used to, and I really enjoy that, guys. Like I said before, you don't really have to be on this car at all times to enjoy it. There is a fair bit of torque within the mid-range, and just drop a gear and essentially you've got boost. It's definitely so rewarding when you get up high in the revs. Definitely at about 4,000, that's when everything just starts to come on, and it's just awesome with all those tuner noises. The combination of VTEC and boost is just unreal. I would love to have a car like this one day. I'm just shocked with all of these different layouts of performance in these Hondas. Like, even though it's front wheel drive, even though it's got 260 kilowatts and just the front wheel, which is about 400 horsepower, it is still so remarkable of a car in every single aspect. You could definitely utilize this car as a daily driver, and definitely out on the weekends as well if you want a little bit more fun. Like, it gets a little bit swirly, but still manageable and controllable in a way that invites you to get up high. This car revs out to 9,000 RPM. 6, 7, definitely a little bit swirly. But otherwise, it's a real good balance of just fun, a lot of driver feedback, and just super engaging of a car. I think the Coupe chassis as well is honestly no difference to a hatch in terms of how it feels. Obviously I'm only driving it on the street and through these twisty corners out here in the hills, and it's just so much fun. Definitely throws you back in the seat, but you have to really concentrate, you know. This wheel is scrambling to get traction with this power. It's so awesome to get that raw, visceral feel of the B series engine in combination with the boost. It's just such a nice noise, and still so raw of a car. I think the overall aesthetic of the Honda Civic Coupe, the SI, the EM1, whatever you choose to call it, based on wherever you are in the world, it's a really unique looking car. You see the front end and you think it's an EK hatchback with that big butt on the back end, but no, it's really sleek, and it's just an overall real nice finish. I think in this black paintwork, dark grey wheels, just a really nice touch, and it's really stealth and sinister in a way as well. It's kind of sleeper of a car. It's really unassuming, and I love that about it. If I had to compare it to the K-Swap Turbo DC2 Type R, this is probably about 7 to 8 tenths of that car in terms of power, delivery, and handling. That car was just so focused and dialed in, but it was definitely a little bit more extreme of a car. I think this is a lot more comfortable and forgiving, though the grip is a little bit more iffy on this car, I have to say. But I just like how the cabin is so inviting. You know, the SR3 seats, the driving position, the Type R wheel. It's just a lovely place to be in. And it's definitely got a little bit more refinement. It's not as stripped out as the DC2 Type R that I drove, but for what it's worth, it's just an awesome car. To pick up a Honda Civic EM1 with a B18C naturally aspirated here in Australia, you're looking at spending around the 10 to 15k mark currently in the market. These corners are just devoured with this. And then on the exits, jump of power. I really want to say a huge thank you to the owners, Matthew and Younan, for allowing me to showcase this car out here on the channel. It really has been a whole lot of fun. If you guys enjoyed it, please smash that thumbs up button in the comments below. Tell me what you think about this turbo B18C2 Honda Civic Coupe, and as well as that, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.